kids are playing when I was 16. But, so we were approximately your age. But we listened to the song maybe 10 times before we got around to really playing. Isn't that much fun? Because we just had to figure it out on our own. Listen.
Is it that scratchy if you put it on a record player?
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
scratchy?
Yes. Because I played the record and burned it under the CD. And that's just the way it sounds. Because it's really old. All right, so let's go through this demo again. Ready? We're gonna go through it. We're gonna play it. We're gonna play solos.
Well, the first, third, fourth, and fifth. Then he goes back. So like C.
The one chord. Here's the pattern. It's the one chord, four chord, one chord, five chord, one. So it goes 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. I'll let you know. Okay? I'll grab the banjo. And I'll put the words in. And I'll tell you what they are as we go. Okay, ready? Here we go. We're playing Gene's Tune. It's the name of the song. All set? First solo will be clarinet,
Go.
and then you're on,
Okay.
and then trumpet, and then trombone, and then you and what?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna sing?
Let's go like make sure we got scat.
Where's that? Guitar? Let's see if you get inspired. Okay? All right, here we go. I'll give you one bar. All set? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. that's a really easy thing to do. And my recommendation is that as a jazz essential, which is the name of the clinic, learning to play a tune by hearing, being able to find your part by listening, listen to recordings, and try to get them. Did you learn from playing records, or did you learn
I did.
from music?
I was just going to come up and say how refreshing it is to see my old friend Bill here teaching in this manner. It's not done nearly enough, and I'm fortunate I make my living playing this music with fabulous musicians all over the world. And what we all have in common is we learned the music this way, not off of music. And I know we refer to music now, of course. We refer to sheet music to see precise melodies or chords or so on and so forth. But I can't emphasize it enough, and Bill obviously is, the importance of listening to records. I just heard another group that had never heard they were playing the Canal Street Blues, and not one kid had heard the original record of it. So I suggested to go home tonight and listen to the original record of it with Louis Armstrong. So if you have a real interest in this music, that's the way to learn it. Listen.
You know, I feel that we all have listened to what we played today, a whole bunch different versions of the song, different songs that we played, like different ways it's played, and I feel like that helps more than anything, more than just the actual.
Well, and that's why this came very, very quickly. You were able to handle this with no problem. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
The other thing about learning to play from listening to recordings and just knowing the song rather than looking at music is that when you do go to Norway or you get on a cruise ship with people you've never even met, you can play with them because they've heard the same things, they've heard the same recordings, and they know what it's supposed to sound like, you know what it's supposed to sound like, and if you've developed your ear, you can alter what you're doing to fit what's happening. If the trumpet player's taking a little different approach, you can change what you're doing to be appropriate. There's no way to do that if you're reading a chart. You have to play the notes in front of you. So if you really want to play jazz, which is improvised music, you want to have a familiarity with the song well enough that you understand the harmonic structure, you know what the melody is, you know what the conventional approach to that song generally is, and then you can respond appropriately. The other thing I like about it is that if I'm not playing an arrangement, if they write a high F on the trombone in the arrangement, that never happens when you're playing by ear. I can play what I can handle. I love that. But that's, I knew exactly what he was going to say when he said it. It's a common culture that jazz musicians have. And in different styles of jazz, it's the same way. Like if you're a bebopper, you go to Japan to play bebop, they're going to know all those tunes. And the way they work, they know the recordings, the famous recordings. So it's a really, really good way to learn. So
That's great. Well done.
Oh.
And all of you well done. Did you see how, like you pointed out, did you see how quickly that song came along? Now, even as professionals, I'll have to look at a new piece of music sometimes. It takes me so much longer to learn that song when I've been reading it a few times. Then finally I decided, okay, I've got to go home and listen to this and then learn it the way I used to. But you see how fast that all happened? That's exciting, isn't it? You know, and you're listening to, you're creating these harmonies and you know the song. That's important. Yeah, very well done.
what's the name of that song?
Jeans too.
Gene's Tune. Thank you very much. I don't know who Gene was, but
Good
we
song.
did it as a tribute to him. All right.
Very good.
I think you do.
Thank you, Bill.
It's almost lunchtime, isn't it? Anybody hungry? Sure. Okay. You're hungry. Okay. Good. There will be food, I'm sure.
Always.
We're hungry. Okay, we're all hungry. All right. You did a really good job. I'm very impressed. You must have a really excellent teacher. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay, if you've been to camp, you know what that means. Yes?
Have you been still learning music for 55 years since you first learned that? By ear?
Yeah,
Did
absolutely.
you stop?
I mean, I do learn songs from music, but I like learning by listening. It's good for you in general too.
So next time we get a new tune, you want us? Should we like listen to it instead of like getting the sheet music?
I would try it, if that's appropriate, because, I don't know how you, I didn't hear your band perform any something that you prepared, but my guess is that what we just played, that had a freer sound to it. It does allow you to choose what you want to play, rather than worrying about looking ahead at the part, or worrying about something that's coming up that's difficult. It allows you to play within yourself. And that generally has a more relaxed feel to it. Well, I don't know, how did you feel?
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounded very comfortable.
Yeah, they're, doing a lot of that similar stuff with listening to it, but with a lead sheet to start with, and then taking it off of the lead sheet page and away from it as possible, but it's putting it in the other direction.
Yeah, and that's a good idea to check. Duke mentioned that also, that you learn it by ear, but then you take a look at the music and see if you are actually playing the melody or the chords somewhere in your correct ones. So that's a good way to do it. I applaud you. That's the way to do it. You guys sound great. Sure.
Who's your favorite jazz artist?
Who's my favorite jazz artist? Duke Hiker.
No.
My favorite, okay, I'll answer that another way. My favorite jazz artist is Bob Haggart.
Oh,
Did you know he was a painter?
a painter?
Bob Haggart was a very fine artist.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So anyway. All right. Yes, ma'am.
How many years have you played trombone and banjo?
How many years?
Yeah.
I played the banjo for 53 years. And I played the trombone for 48. I should be much better. Okay. All right, are we ready to go? I love what you did. You got away from the melody. Now, granted, it's a blues, and we all have some kind of familiarity with that, and that helps. But you were exploring, and I applaud that.
Thank you.
Okay. Ready for lunch?
Yeah.
Is lunch ready for you?
Yes.
No,
Yes,
probably. We're ready for lunch.
For lunch. Okay, good.
I'll make everything ready.
All right. Okay, well, thank you very much. Go away.
Claire, tell Joe to get his shoes now.
What?
Tell Joe to get the binder too.
Wonderful, Bill. That's so refreshing. That's so great. That's the way to.
You guys see the picture now, let's see that time, let's do that now. Yeah,
I was thinking about that.